Yo, what's good? It's your girl Property back with another video. I know it's been a little minute, but I've got a good banger for you lot. Basically, I flipped a sample that J.I. used into an Afrobeat banger. I don't know if you lot know about J.I., the Prince of New York, and then there's other Spanish rapper as well that's used the same sample. I'm gonna show you lot the sample as well, like the original sample, and then I'm gonna show you the beat, and then I'm gonna basically just go through the breakdown of how I kind of like flipped it or just added to it, and yeah, made an Afrobeat banger out of it. Let's get straight into it. Yeah, now I didn't really do much to the sample in terms of actually flipping it. Like I might have just like cut it up a little bit, just deciding the sections and whatnot that I wanted to use. I'm gonna just play you the beat. So clearly you heard like how the sample was before in the intro, and like all I did, I literally pitched it all the way up. Well, I pitched it up by 1 octave, which is like 12 semitones or something like that. You can see it there. And then I reversed it. So if I didn't pitch it up and if I unreverse it, there we go. Or when I reverse it, and then when I pitched it up. The other thing that I also did to this sample, you might be thinking, oh, how is it getting that like pumping sound? So I basically put a gross beat on it and I click the sidechain effect. So what it does, it just gives it that like pumping, because a lot of like outtake Afrobeats or just like Afrobeat, R&B Afrobeats are doing this now. Like you'll hear it a lot. Let me take off the effects. So without, and then with, okay, so basically this was down here like that. I dragged that up so that, you know, it doesn't dip out, the sound doesn't dip out when it gets to this section, so you get that pulsating, and so it's not too sharp. I put the attack halfway and I put the release halfway, and then I just reduced the overall effect a little bit by maybe like 15%. And then of course you just got the parametric EQ just to clean it up a little bit, the reverb to soften it up a little bit again, and then I've got another EQ which is slightly boosting the bass, which you'll hear later on. And then I started adding my own magic now to it, started adding my own elements, just building a beat around it. So let's go on to the next sound that we've got, which is this sound right here. So yeah, it's just simple chords which I got from Analog Lab. Oh yeah, you can see it right here. Then we go on to the next sound. It's called P&D from Analog Labs. The next sound. Oh god, we're struggling already. This one is called red light. Sounds like this. So you got this, which is some percussion sound, and we got this. Yeah, I got it from this pack here called Perfect Sunset. Pretty much my go-to pack if I'm making any dance hall or like maybe some afro beats. Yeah, with that vocal right there, actually I've done quite a bit to it. So without any effects, then with the effects. So how I kind of got that dual kind of pitch thing, I've been using this a lot. I even use it in my tag as well. So yeah, I basically put this all the way up to give it that second higher pitch. So without, it's just like nothing. And then when you put it up, you get, and then I pretty much reduced the mix to 50% so that the higher pitch wasn't too in your face. So it's a bit more subtle like that. And then other than that, just the usual reverb to like give it that natural vibe. Yeah, I use one of them presets basically just to shift the frequency around as the plugin suggests it does. I also had a Fruity Love filter on here, but I guess I didn't use it anymore. And then I've just got my delay settings here. Yeah, so when it comes to the chords, it's literally simple, just parametric EQ or reverb on all of the chords. This is literally the same as the chord that I showed you before. I basically just layered the same chord over like 3 times just to make it more thick. So this is the intro, the chorus, the verse, chorus, verse, ignore that note. So yeah, let's go straight onto the drums. We've got the kick, and believe me, I haven't actually put any effects on these drums, I think. That's the kick. Then we got the snare. After the snare, we've got the hi-hat that I put in myself, obviously. Who else would have done it? With that hi-hat, I did indeed do something to it to add, give it that bounce. What I always do, added some delay feedback, 5%, not much, panned it to the right, put it on ping pong so it goes between your 2 ears, added some rolls, and when you're adding in your rolls, you just want to mess with the velocity. We've got some ear candies, open hat. Put a delay on that as well, as you can hear, and it's going between your 2 ears. So yeah, I got that from a pack on Splice called The Genius. He's a producer. We get into like the verse here, and that's when I'm starting to switch things up now, because before chorus is where I'm using that sample. Now we get into the verse and I'm like, F that sample, I'm gonna jazz it up my way. I'm gonna start adding in my chords and my things now. Boy. So this is just purely me now on the verse. We've got as I said before, these 2, and then I also add in some other bits. This is in the intro, and then I also add this in as well to like set the scene. Add this in as well now. Slow build up. And then we switch it up now. So you can hear the mood has just gotten a little bit lighter into the second half of the verse. And what I did there is, so this sound here, I've pitched up an octave in the second verse. If you ignore the audio files, you can like see, yeah, I pretty much just pitched it up And so basically this was shortened before in the audio. You can see 1, 2, 3, and all I've done now is I've elongated it and pitched it up. And with that pulsating effect it adds to it, I've taken out this instrument that was in before, the main chords. So as we're coming into the second half, the mood's lighter and we're adding all of this in. We're adding in all the ear candies, getting ready for the chorus. Everything drops again. It drops again with the main sample again. So we're reminding them, coming back in with that main sample, and then I add in some violins now to that main sample here. And then I've just chopped it up here to like fit. The only other thing I'll say that I did during this beat is I've also added in some breaks. At the end of this chorus, I've cut out all of the melody. I've cut out a couple of the percussions, but only a couple of them are played. And it just makes that, it just emphasizes that break. And I've also made a break here as well. So that was just with the 2 drums there, the hi-hat and the kick. And yeah, the only other thing that I want to show you is the master channel now. Okay, so this is without the limiter. With the limiter. So yeah, that's basically one of the ways that I master my beats. You can either use a limiter or you can use Maximus. I usually try both ways and just go with whichever one feels better. Usually what I do is I put the ratio. I actually found this from this method from, what's his name? I've just gone out of my head. He's a very big producer as well. Anyways, I'll put his name and his picture here. But yeah, from his method, I basically just learned this ratio all the way to the top. Threshold, just put it as you need it, like. Yeah, so I put the threshold obviously makes the beat quieter, so I thought for myself -7 decibels was good enough for me, and then you bring it back up in loudness. So I thought, okay, I brought it up to about 4 dB. Basically just want to make sure you're not peaking over 0. I haven't really done too much in terms of mixing, just brought some things down. But yeah, like I've shown you how I've mixed it, I showed you how I mastered it, and I showed you how I pretty much made the beat. Let me know what you would change to it, what you would add to it, or if it's fine just as is. What artists do you hear on this? I'm hearing artists like maybe Marzi, Odeal, maybe Gabzy, Melvitto, them kind of dancehall, afro artists. Other than that, I just want to thank you lot for like watching, and make sure you subscribe. I never even say to subscribe, but in it, just like subscribe to your girl. And yeah, I'll catch you lot in the next one.